But we as musicians, we don't have that luxury. You can write a song and you can be like, this is gonna be a big hit. And maybe it will, but it probably won't. We write songs, you put them out into the world, and then the public decides what resonates with them. And a great example of this is my most recent LP. So I don't know if you know this, I made an album. It is a 20-song musical sequel to the 1986 film Labyrinth. Unofficial, of course, in which David Bowie played the Goblin King. So in this sequel, it's 20-something songs, and I wrote these songs, I recorded these songs with 15 members of David Bowie's band. That's right. The keyboard player from Ziggy Stardust, the guitar player from Diamond Dogs, the sax player from Let's Dance. I mean, I'm literally the weakest link in the chain on this album. And for the very first time, this is my 13th album, for the very first time in my musical career, I put out singles. I've never done that before, but I was like, I'm gonna be a real band. I'm gonna be like Duran Duran. I'm gonna put out singles, and then I'm gonna put out the album. Shut the fuck up, Duran Duran's awesome. So I chose 4 or 5 songs, and I was like, these are gonna be the songs people are gonna love. If you go to my Spotify channel right now, you're gonna discover that the most popular song from the Black Labyrinth is none of those singles. It's this other song I wrote that's sung from the perspective of a giant snake that ate a little caterpillar in a scarf. I shouldn't have told you that part. That bums everyone out. But this song is sung by the perspective of a giant white snake, and the song is about lying. Now, they're not about big lies, they're about little lies. And when you're someone like myself, when you're someone who comes from a terrible town, a terrible upbringing, and you want to like get the fuck out of there and be able to finally be who you know you are. You know, where you live in a place where people are like, you wear makeup and they kick the shit out of you. Or they don't like your clothing choices, or they don't like the bands you like, or they don't like your fucking name, like mine, is unusual. You might need to reinvent yourself. You might need to escape that place and go somewhere where you can find people who will love and respect you the way you are. And once in a while, you may need to bend the truth a tiny little bit. You know, like when people say, where are you from? Like, I'm from Cuba, but I grew up in New Jersey. I don't want to fucking tell people I spent a second of my life in New Jersey. So I might say, I'm from Transylvania. Isn't it obvious? I'm not talking about big lies here. I'm talking about little white lies. Would you turn and walk away fast if I told you from whence I came and all the sordid details of my inglorious past? I'll tell you why I'm afraid. Would you leave me for dead, or would you come to my aid if I don't tell you some pretty words? Should I keep you coming my way? I never meant to lie, but there are things we do say to get by. Little white lies, a small surprise how big they grow in size. All starts simple enough. Your present is dark because your childhood was rough, so you shed your skin and you change your name in the hopes of putting air between you and the pain. So grab a mask, fill up the flask, slither like a snake into a masquerade. Now you've come so far, you feel like a star. You hope they never figure out who you really are. I never meant to lie, but there are things we do say to get by. Little white lies, a small surprise how big they grow in size. I Well,